Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. So I seek the blessings of all the senior devotees, especially His Grace Vaishnav Prabhu. So as a part of the Bhakti Vaibhav course, I have given this opportunity to present on the verse Srimad Bhagavatam 3.23.39. Let me present. तेनाष्टालोकपविहारकुलाचलेन्द्र द्रोणीषु अनङ्गसक मारुतसौभगासु सिद्धैर्नुतोऽध्युधुनिपात शिवस्वनाशु रेमे चिरं धनधवल्ललनावरोति. I'll recite again. तेनाष्टलोकप विहारकुलाचलेन्द्र द्रोणीषु अनङ्गसखमारुतसौभगासु सिद्धैर्नुतोऽध्युधुनिपात शिवस्वनाशो रेमे चिरं धनधवल्ललनावरोति. Tena, by that airplane, Ashtaloka of the predominating deities of the 8 heavenly planets, Vihara, pleasure grounds, Kula Achala Indra, of the king of mountains, Meru, Dronishu, in the valleys, Ananga, of passion, Sakha, compassions, Maruta, with breezes, Saubhagashu, beautiful, Siddhai, by the Siddhas, Nutaha, being praised, Dudhuni, of the Ganges, Pata, of the downfall, Shiva's Swanashu, vibrating with auspicious sounds, Reme, he enjoyed, Chiram, for a long time, Dhanadavat, like Kuvera, Lalana, by damsels, Varuthi, surrounded. So, translation. In that aerial mansion, he travelled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which were rendered all more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that stimulated passion. In these valleys, the treasurer of gods, Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women, prized by Siddhas, generally enjoy pleasure. Kardama Muni also, surrounded by the beautiful damsels and his wife, went there and enjoyed for many years. Purport. Kuvera is one of the 8 demigods who are in charge of different directions of the universe. It is said that Indra is in charge of the eastern side of the universe where the heavenly planet or paradise is situated. Similarly, Agni is in charge of the southeastern portion of the universe. Yama, the demigod who punishes sinners, is in charge of southern portion. Nirriti is in charge of the southwestern part of the universe. Varuna, the demigod in charge of the waters, is in charge of the western portion. Vayu, who controls the air and who has wings to travel in the air, is in charge of the northwestern part of the universe. And Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, is in charge of the northern part of the universe. All these demigods take pleasure in the valleys of Mount Meru, which is situated somewhere between the sun and the earth. In the aerial mansion, Karadamuni travelled throughout the 8 directions controlled by the demigods, different demigods described above, as the demigods go to Mount Meru. He also went there to enjoy life. When one is surrounded by beautiful young girls, sex stimulation naturally becomes prominent. Kardamuni was sexually stimulated and he enjoyed his wife for many years in the part of Mount Meru. But his sex indulgence was praised by many siddhas, beings who have attained perfection, because It was intended to produce good progeny for the good of the universal affairs. So I have two, three more verses. So I'll read the translation of those. Satisfied by his wife, he enjoyed in the Darian mansion, not only on Mount Meru, but in different gardens known as Vaishrambhaka, Surashana, Nandana, Pushpa and Chaitra Rathya, and by the Manasa Sarovara lake. He traveled in that way through the various planets as the air passes uncontrolled in every direction, coursing through the air in that great, splendid aerial mansion, which could fly at his will. He surpassed even the demigods. So the verse 42. Kim durapadanam desham pumsam uddham chetasam yair ashritaisteerthapadas charano vesanatyayah. So this is a very interesting verse and a very nice verse. So I'll read the translation of this. What is difficult to achieve for determined men who have taken refuge of the Supreme Personality of God at Lotus feet? His feet are the source of frequent rivers like the Ganges, which put an end to the dangers of mundane life. So, purport. The words Yair Ashritas Tirthapadas Charanaha are significant here. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Tirthapada. The Ganges is called a sacred river because it emanates from the toe of Vishnu. The Ganges is meant to eradicate all the material distresses of the conditioned souls. Therefore, nothing is impossible for any living entity who has taken shelter of the holy lotus feet of the Lord. Kardama Muni is a special not because he was great mystic, but because he was a great devotee. Therefore, it is said that here, for a great devotee like Kardama Muni, nothing is impossible. Although yogis can perform wonderful feats, as Kardama has already displayed, Kardama was more than a yogi because he was a great devotee of the Lord. Therefore, he was more glorious than an ordinary yogi. As it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, out of many yogis, he who is a devotee of the Lord is first class. For a person like Kardama Muni, there is no question of being conditioned. He was already a liberated soul, better than the demigods, who are also conditioned. Although he was enjoying with his wife and many other women, he was above material conditioned life. Therefore, the word Vyasanatyaya is used to indicate that he was beyond the position of the conditioned soul. He was transcendental to all material limitations. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Kardama Muni, we have been discussing in the Bhakti and also over the last few weeks on the storyline of Kardama Muni and Dehavati, and like in the verses which we just read, so there will see that Kardama Muni was enjoying with his wife in the Mount Meru and all the other heavenly places, and at the same time many siddhas are glorifying him and many people are glorifying him. So although he's enjoying, he's being glorified. So it's little contradictory. Like if in this world, if we enjoy, usually people will condemn us, and even devotees, if a little enjoyment, in case if we do, So it is a condemnable thing, and we lose all the taste in spiritual life. Spiritual life strength also is lost as soon as we enjoy little. But Kardamuni's enjoyment is glorified. Why so? So let's this verse. Let me share it again. So, Kim Durapadanam Tesham Pumsam Uda Udama Chetasam Yair Ashritya Tirtha Padas. So, since he had taken Yair Ashritya Tirtha Padas, he has taken the shelter of lotus feet of the Lord. Charano Vyasana Atyaha. So, although it appeared that he is enjoying, but since his focus was to beget the progeny, since he already had got the, like, he had done a lot of austerities and Lord Vishnu personally had come and he had given the benediction that I will come as your son. So he was confident, and at the same time he, so his lifespan, if you understand the Kardamuni's lifespan, so he was able to go to demigods and place where all the people, so his would enjoy. So that means that his lifespan also was more than demigods. And for him, many years is just like a one day. So as a whole, he was focused on attaining the lotus feet of the Lord. And just for this, to fulfill the order of Brahma and also to complete his renunciation. So he took this path where he wanted to beget child, especially he knew the prophecy that Lord would personally come, so he wanted to beget child, and that's why he took this path. And you see, Kardama Muni, like, we cannot imitate Kardamuni the way he done, because he was already a mystic, I mean, great devotee of the Lord and also had the mystic powers. But at the same time, he was focused on the Lord on a long run. Like, just like you see in the marriage, especially in foreign countries, people do the agreement, marriage agreement, just because they get some money or they get some property at the time of divorce. So most of the people, they do like that. So that's the main purpose for marriage agreement. So, and even some, they even put it as like, for these many years, for 3 years, and in case if I divorce between before 3 years, I'll get this much amount. So if I divorce after 10 years, I'll get this much amount, like that. So there is agreement at the time of marriage itself. And Kardama also had that agreement at the time of marriage. And his agreement was, as soon as the child is born, when a son is born, I will leave. That was his agreement. As soon as the son is born, I will leave and go for renunciation. So, if you look at a larger picture, he was fully focused on attaining the lotus feet of the Lord, Kardamuni. But at the same time, if we cannot imitate Kardamuni, because Kardamuni was a great devotee of the Lord, and his lifespan was very of demigod lifespan, more than that also. But in Kali Yuga, the lifespan of people is very less, and if we go after mystic powers or if we go after any enjoyment, we don't know when we may lose our life and lose this chance to attain perfection in human life. So the main purpose of any ashram as such, like be it Grihastha ashram or Brahmachari ashram, the main purpose is to renounce the enjoying mentality. Is to renounce the enjoying mentality and attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So that way, just like it is said, Mukunda Murna Pranipatyache Bhavantam Ekantam Yantam Artam Avismrutam Tad Sharanara Vande Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhagavat Prasadat. So, um, this verse explains about how the purpose of life is to always remember the lotus feet of the Lord. Is to always develop that relationship of service with the Lord. And that is the main goal. And by achieving that, actually, one can attain the highest satisfaction. So, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that there is nothing more glorifying, there is nothing more auspicious in this entire 14 words than holy name. So there is nothing more auspicious in this entire 14 words than holy name. So the real satisfaction is in spiritual life. And The spiritual happiness is eternal, and spiritual happiness is satisfying, and spiritual happiness is absolute. Whereas material happiness, it is relative, it is temporary, and at the same time, it is always mixed with distress. So the happiness which one can experience on spiritual level is much more, and that should be our goal of mind, and that should be our goal of life. So Kardamuni was also fixed on that goal. That's why Siddhas were glorifying him. Although he was apparently enjoying, that's why many people were glorifying him, because he knew the goal of my life is to attain lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Like, although Brahma had ordered him, now you become a Prajapati and beget unlimited number, just populate the entire universe, but still he surrendered to the supreme authority, that is Lord Vishnu. And then he thought, let me beget, and he did the austerities and meditated on the Lord Vishnu. And he thought, I'll beget only one child, and he will deliver the entire world. And Lord Vishnu personally agreed to come as his son. That is Kapila Muni. So as we are discussing, so Kardama Muni is a mystic yogi, and he had many mystic powers. So because of that, the mansion which he created, it was 7-story building, and it is filled with all decorations. I think last week we saw the description of the mansion, and he was able to fly to different places, and all of this happened just out of like, he was not endeavoring to do so much. It all automatically came because of his because he has surrendered to Lord. He didn't endeavor that much. He was also surprised to see that such a mansion has come, and to see many people are there, to see many women are there, and he was also surprised. But you see, devotees are not interested in any of these mystic powers. Devotees are not at all interested in any of these mystic powers. Like, there is one pastime I was hearing, that Rasikanand Pandit, so who is a disciple of Shamanand Prabhu. So actually, he used to live in a village, and um, he was very great devotee, and all village people would look at him as a great person, and everyone would take guidance from him. And one day in that village, a mystic yogi came who was flying in a tree bark on a tree bark. So he was coming, and all the people were astonished. As in early morning he came, all the people were astonished seeing this person flying from tree to tree, from house to house. And all the people came to this person. You should also come and see. He's flying. He's flying. So he told, I'm not interested. No, he's flying. You should come and see. Then, no, I'm not interested in all this. Then he told, are you mad? He's flying. So then again, I'm not interested. Then what he told, people are not listening to him. So actually, he was using his tweak to brush his teeth. Then he put that down, and then he rotated. He also flew around the tree for 3 times. I am not interested. I am not interested in mystic powers. Then people listen to him. The goal of life is not mystic powers. Actually, it is to serve God. Like, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself actually offered mystic powers. Like, when he did this Mahaprakash Leela, many people came, and then he was offering, do you want mystic powers, mystic siddhis, like to Murari Gupta, to Golovicha Sridhar. But all of them denied. Why? Because higher taste is in serving the Lord. And mystic powers is just a mechanical thing. It's just a mechanical thing where one, well, let's say now the science is advancing, and it is on a gross level, and most of the mystic powers are on subtle level, where they can access the subtle elements of this earth, and that's how they are able to do something which is beyond the beyond the gross perception. It is little bewildering, but uh, none of none of them are actually interesting to devotees. Like, even Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, when he had gone to US, many times all the Western people were attracted to any yogi who would do some mystic power. But Srila Prabhupada, although many times in one of in, I mean, in his intimate dealings with devotees, many devotees also saw that Srila Prabhupada was always golden, he was always glowing, or he also had shown some powers which are not unusual to see. But he never uh, spoke on this, or he always disregarded. Like just like he said, what is the use of learning how to walk on the river? We can just pay 5 rupee, five paisa, and then go on a boat. So devotees are not at all interested or not even attracted for that matter. So their main attraction in life is to serve devotees, and it is to serve Lord Krishna, is to serve Guru. That way they develop rati for the lotus feet of the Lord. And one develops the attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord by, like you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, entire Srimad Bhagavatam, there is more, so much focus is on given on developing interaction to the lotus feet of the Lord. Like Uddhava is speaking, Vijra is speaking. Even in the first canto also, attraction to the lotus feet of the Lord is glorified much. And we can also develop this attraction by serving the Lord, and especially by hearing from the devotees who have developed that attraction, and by serving them. So it's something which enthuses a devotee beyond his capability of advancement. By serving devotees, one can actually get all the realizations which they have got in their own life, and just by serving, like it is said, just like by serving a boss in a company, one gets all the company benefits, most of it. Boss automatically provides all the benefits. So similarly, by working under a spiritual master, by serving him, by serving a senior devotee, what experience he has developed for years and years, what realizations he has developed, it automatically comes to oneself, and that's how one easily advances. And as I was discussing, the purpose of any ashram is renunciation, and to somehow or other develop attraction for the Lord and give up this enjoying mentality. Then you see, and this can be achieved in any of the ashram. Like you see, there is a story of Ramanujacharya, which all of you must have heard, but I'll still repeat that. Ramanujacharya had his so he wanted to test like how much renounced are these sannyasis. So Ramanujacharya actually had many sannyasis disciples, and he also had many wonderful Brahmasa disciples. And he wanted to test who actually is renounced, who actually is surrendered and dedicated to Guru. Then he what he did, he instigated a little kind of a quarrel between the sannyasis by doing what, by misplacing their dhotis, by tearing their land clothes. So all the sannyasis immediately they started, oh, my dhoti is not there, my copan is not there, what happened. So they were fighting, and Ramanujacharya heard this. So then he told his two Brahmana disciples, now you go to that Grihastha disciple's house, and when they are sleeping, you steal their ornaments, and let's see how they react. Now, the lady was sleeping, and actually the husband was out, and this was during the daytime, and the lady had prepared everything, and she was sleeping on. She was just taking rest, and as soon as the two brahmanas came, she immediately she woke up. I mean, she got to know. She was aware that they both have come, but they both were very suspicious, and she got to know that they wanted to steal something. Now, what she thought, anyway, the Brahmana disciples, they are my Guru's disciples, they are my God brothers, they may be in need of some money for the mat, so let me not disturb them, let them take whatever they want. So what they did, so she was just sleeping, and all the ornaments were on her body. So they all took one side earring, one side anklet, bangles, and one side anklet. So all this, one side, whatever was there, they took, and then she rolled over, just like we roll over while we're sleeping. So she rolled over and thinking that let them also take the other side also. But then they both thought, they both freaked out. Oh, she's waking up now. Let me run away. So they both ran away. Now, after the husband came after some time, and then she saw this. She saw her wife. She was wearing only one side all the jewelry. So what happened? She asked. He asked. Then you're wearing only one side jewelry. What is this? So then she told that actually our guru's disciples had come, and then they wanted to take something, and I thought, let me roll over and give the others all entire thing so that it can be used in service of guru. And then he said that actually you are not surrendered enough. Since you are thinking it is mine and I should give something to guru, you are not surrendered enough. It's already gurus, and everything already we actually have is already, it's already gurus, and he is just accepting our service in some small way, and we are serving them. So but since you had this false ego of thinking that is mine, so that's why you are not able to give the entire thing. So then Ramanajacharya asked the two Brahmanas. The two Brahmanas were there only hiding and seeing how they will react. And then Ramanajacharya asked, how did they react? So then he told that I only instigated this fight between the sannyasis, and I only said these grihasthas also, these brahmacharis basically to steal the jewelry. So then he explained actual renunciation can be achieved if someone surrenders to Guru. And actual renunciation is higher taste for chanting the holy name, higher taste for serving Guru. And that's what they had also. And irrespective of ashram, be it Grihastha ashram, be it Brahmacharya ashram, be it any ashram for that matter. So, irrespective of ashram, if one develops attraction to serve Guru, then actually one is renounced. One is on a path of Nivritti Marg. And Pravritti Marg is materialist, but Nivritti Marg is where one is surrendered to the service of the Guru. And and that's how it can be achieved in any form, like in any, irrespective of any ashram. And by serving Guru, we can actually develop, we can actually attain the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda also. By His mercy, we can attain the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we just get attracted, like that, it is said that when Gopkumar was going back to Godhead, that he was taken to different levels of the universe. Like he was able to see the heaven, he was able to see beyond heaven what all things are there, and Brahma Loka, all these lokas he was able to see. So it is said, as one is passing from his journey from Earth to Golok, he's shown all the different levels of enjoyment also. If someone is attracted to any of the enjoyment mystic levels, then he'll get just stuck up there. Like be it mystic power or be it Brahma Jyoti, just Shanti. So like that, if he's attracted to Brahma Jyoti, he may get stuck up there. Or if he's attracted to heaven, he may get stuck up there. So like this, it is said, as one is passing through, all these tests are done. So like, and Guru does the test even in this life also, and he corrects it and he trains us before going only, so that we don't get attracted on the way and miss out the chance to go back to Godhead. But we should be very careful, and we should develop this strong and firm and focused desire to serve Lord. Then only we will be able to actually attain the mercy of knowledge and truth. That determination will come. With determined focus to achieve the mercy of the Lord, we can give up the lower taste. And Nityananda's mercy, he is extremely merciful, and by his mercy, we can easily develop the higher taste in chanting the holy name. And that is chanting the holy name and service of the Lord. And that is the only way to come out of bodily concept of life also, by developing the higher taste. And that's why it is said chanting is the easiest means to realize that I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. Because immediately the impurities in the heart get cleansed, and one develops, oh, I'm experiencing some taste, but I'm just chanting, I'm just moving my lips, I'm just moving my lips, but still I'm feeling happiness. So how is this? Where is this coming from? I'm not feeding my body. I'm not gratifying my senses, but still I'm feeling some satisfaction. So like this, just by analyzing and seeing, and it is not on mental platform also. Like Prabhupada in his initial record of this Hare Krishna mantra, which he did in New York. So that time, um, like when the record was happening, actually it was in very late night. After around 10 o'clock, they went to the studio and then they started this Hare Krishna mantra. First record, which we are very famous, normal Hare Krishna tune. And then they did it for half an hour, they sang, and Prabhupada was actually very tired. But he was playing Mridangam also, and then he was actually very tired. But then that time he spoke, uh, like record was done on, and then the person came and told that it has come out very nicely, and it has little more 10 more minutes tape is there. Would you like to speak something? So then Prabhupada spoke that time on how the chanting is not on the bodily platform, not on the mental platform, not on the intellectual platform, but actually is coming from the platform of soul. So then how it is purifying all the other layers, and by engaging soul, automatically all the intelligence, mind, and body is automatically engaged. And Prabhupada spoke this, and all the devotees were extremely happy. And then Prabhupada did again kirtan for half an hour, and then they went in the very late night to house. So you see, by developing the taste for chanting, by developing taste for service of Guru, one actually can give up automatically this lower taste, and one will not even feel alluring. So, and that's why Bhagavatam, especially, very graphically explains the enjoyment of this material world also, and basically the devouring effects of enjoyment of this material world, so that we get awakened to the reality, and we may not succumb to it again, because what enjoyment people would then have is much and much more than what we can have currently also. But still Bhagavatam is condemning the enjoyment mentality. But still Bhagavatam is condemning the enjoyment mentality. And so that's where the Srimad Bhagavatam is called Amala Puran. So the one Puran which can actually remove all types of bad dharmas, Kaitava dharmas, and actually propagate the pure devotional service to the Lord. And and that's why Srila Prabhupada also focused so much on giving Bhagavatam, giving Srimad Bhagavatam to people. Like Bhagavatam was the first book which he had written, and which he got printed also. Bhagavatam was the first book which he published. And any new people, new hippie would come, he would give Bhagavatam. So take this Bhagavatam and read. So he had this first canto, 3 volumes, and many people got attracted just by seeing Bhagavatam and reading it. And that's how, and that was the first book, as I said, Srimad Bhagavatam. And by developing taste for this Bhagavatam, by reading it, and by not losing this chance of human form of life, right? So this is the only chance. Even if in case if we get miss this, we'll lose this chance of human form of life, and we'll not know. Let's say if one goes to heaven and again he comes back after some time, then the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's moment is lost. And then after, it's only there for 10,000 years, coming 10,000 years. And as soon as we go, as Prabhupada also cautioned that my disciples are not sufficiently fearful of Maya. And he also said that most of my disciples may go to heaven. So we should be, but we don't want to be one among them where we may land up in heaven. Rather, we directly want to attain pure devotional service in this lifetime and let Krishna take wherever He wants to take to us, and we are ready to serve. So then that's how we can actually develop the attraction for the lotus feet of the Lord. So to summarize, I mean to conclude this section of Kardamuni, so Since he had taken shelter of lotus feet of the Lord, this he was beyond his 3 modes actually. So although it may appear that he is doing a normal activity within the 3 modes, within passion and ignorance, but he was beyond his 3 modes because his focus was clear to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, to please the Lord. And similarly, also, we can also act in this world. We can be of this world, but not be attached to this world. So, Kardamoon is a great example for this. We can take this lesson from this instance. And he had in his mind that for my renunciation to be complete, I had to experience this type of enjoyment. And for him, it is like, as I said, his lifespan was so much, it was only a little amount of time, like 1 day in our life compared to that. So, but on a whole, he was extremely focused on attaining the mercy of the Lord, and that's why he was not like a normal mystic yogi. He was, since he had taken. So it is said here that uh, Tirtha Padas. So the lotus feet of the Lord is shelter of all the Tirthas basically. So all the holy places. And many like Shiva gets this, like there is one song where it describes Vaishnava song, it describes how Shiva gets his glory by just by holding the Ganges on his head. Brahma gets glory just by having the lotus feet, and like this, the lotus feet of the Lord is most glorious, and by taking shelter of him, we like we also become we also can attain that glorious position. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always said that he didn't say that I have seen Krishna, I achieved the perfection already. Although he was Krishna himself and he did see Krishna face to face, but he never said I have seen Krishna. The mood was of separation. The mood was of separation and to love develop. He was always looking where is Krishna. Similarly, Goswamis also, they were always looking where is Krishna, where is Radharani, and that should be our focus also. When our focus is turned in the search of Lord and not get attracted to any of the other things, and especially this focus can be turned by being under some devotee and focusing on reading Srimad Bhagavatam and at the same time chanting the holy name, attentive chanting of the holy name. So it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that this scripture especially is made to create revolution in the heart of conditioned souls. And that revolution can occur in all of us when we take to the message of Srimad Bhagavatam by reading it and also by understanding the life of Acharyas like Prabhupada, how much struggle he had went through just to present the Srimad Bhagavatam to the entire world. Like he was the only one who had so much firm faith in the words of the Guru. Like it is said that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur would always say to everyone, whomever he would meet, especially any young people, he would say, "Oh, that you are very well educated young man, you can. Why don't you take to the knowledge of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and preach it throughout the West?" And like this for Prabhupada also, he said in the first meeting itself, and that time itself, Prabhupada took it seriously. So actually, the word of spiritual master can make disciples' heart jubilate. You let it be a simple instruction or a complex scriptural term or anything for that matter, some deep philosophy, doesn't matter. But the word of spiritual master, the Vani of the spiritual master, can it carries actually the internal potency of the Lord. And the process is to hear. If we hear it, we'll also be able to take the shelter of internal potency of the Lord. And it makes a disciple completely surrendered. It makes a disciple very jubilant in his life and very much focused. And Prabhupada was like that. That when finally, like when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, just before 2 weeks before he left this world, or sorry, 1 month before he left this world, he had written Prabhupada had written a letter to him that how shall I serve? I'm Grihastha only and I'm facing so many difficulties in Bombay, but all these things he had told. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur still repeated the same instruction, that you go to the west and preach. And he took it to the heart, and he did do it. Like he had so much faith in the instruction of spiritual master that he meditated, he worked upon for almost 40 years. And finally, at the age of 70, he went to the West and he was able to preach the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it actually did turn the hearts of the hippies into happy Krishna conscious devotees. And he did undergo a lot of struggle. So, by focusing on the struggle of Acharyas, by focusing on the message of Bhagavatam, by focusing on the holy name, our life becomes perfect. And if we lose our focus, like just like it is said, we have to avoid. So basically, we have to take care of two things. One is, now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always said that you water the seed and at the same time don't let it get weed out, basically by growing the weeds. So by avoiding Vaishnava Prad, so by not cultivating the weeds. So especially weeds get cultivated by doing Vaishnava Prad. By avoiding Vaishnava Prad and by consciously not cultivating the weeds, we develop the focus on the service of the Lord. And weeds are very subtle, and it keeps constantly coming. It keeps constantly coming. But if we focus on the instruction of the spiritual master, we can actually the weeds is such that we can even never get to know. Also, the false ego is such that we can even never get to know. Also, that we have false ego. That's why by serving under a devotee submissively and be self-surrendered, no matter whatever he does or whatever you do. But you know that in this lifetime I have to perfect my life. I am Krishna's and Krishna is mine. I am devotees and devotees are mine. So like that, when we develop the focus, then whatever happens, whatever little problems happens, it doesn't matter. On a higher level, we see what we have got. So that is the vision of a devotee, and how much he has received. It's even unmatchable to the any, like no matter how much your biggest gift one gets, that still it cannot be matched by the gift which devotees have got by the message of Guru Parampara. And if we take to the message of Guru Parampara and same similar way we practice it, it is said that the preachers of the Krishna consciousness movement are the most fortunate people in the world, because they have to, first of all, they have to take in the message of the Guru Parampara, practice it. So they have the great responsibility of practicing the message, what they will speak. So they have the great responsibility of practicing the message, and they preach it. So they preach to the others, and by preaching, their practice even becomes more and more strong, and it also helps them to it also helps, obviously it helps the mission of Prabhupada. So that's the main purpose, that we some or other, be it a small bolt or be it a big wheel or some or other, just join in the movement and help to spread the message of the Lord. And let us not miss this opportunity to make in this life in this lifetime itself, to make our life perfect and to get the higher taste by serving Guru. And Guru can give the higher taste by and give the higher taste which Lord Nityananda is easily distributing. Like Lord Nityananda says that even without asking, he gave higher taste to Jagai and Madai. Without asking, he is distributing the message of the Lord, the mercy of the Lord. So if we become humble in every situation of our life, and if we pray for the mercy of the Lord, then actually Krishna will provide. And Krishna is always testing us how much humble he is. And to that extent, he will give the mercy. How much humble he is, to that extent, he will give the mercy. So just like, I'll end with this past time. Like when Advaita Acharya first saw um, first heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. Like Advaita Acharya was the one who called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Lord Krishna, you please descend and you deliver all the so many conditioned people who are so much into Maya. In the name of religious life, they are into more Maya and they are spreading Maya everywhere. So he prayed, only you can come and deliver everyone. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, then he said, I have come. So tell Advaita, you call him wherever he is, and you tell that I have come. So one person ran to tell to Advaita, but he didn't know where Advaita's house was. So then, but he just started Advaita, Advaita. He shouted and searched everywhere, and then he said, Lord has come. Lord has come. The one whom you called for, he has come finally. And Advaita didn't believe it. How is it possible? First he became happy, extremely happy. Then after that, how is it possible? How can Lord come from same Krishna can come? How can he come to this world and then just by my call? Then he um, thought, I will not come out. So if Lord has come, you're telling Lord has come, then he'll only come. If Lord has come from there to here, then why will not come? So he'll also come and meet me. So then I will not come out, like that he said. And he told to his wife that you prepare the arti plate also, in case if Lord comes, we'll do arti. So then he said, then that person came back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he said, he is not coming, he is not listening to your words. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally came, and then he said, Oh Advaita, where are you? So he's shouting, Advaita, and then Advaita came, and then he bowed down to the lotus feet of the Lord, and he saw the most effulgent face, beautiful face of the Lord. And then he understood, now the Lord has come to deliver the fallen people of Kali Yuga. Then he asked, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him the benediction, since you have called me with so much affection, I have come now, and you ask any benediction. So then Advaita said, Lord, here come, that is sufficient for me. So you have taken so much anxiety to come here. So that itself is a benediction for me. Then Lord still asked, you should ask some benediction at least. Then he said, no, no, Lord, I don't want anything for myself. Neither your presence itself is sufficient for me. So then Lord still asked, so you tell me one benediction at least which you want. So then Advaita said that, my Lord, in all the other avatars, so you have come and you have destroyed the people, and you have killed many demons. Sorry, destroyed demons. You have killed many demons, and but in this avatar, I want you to deliver even the most fallen of fallen, even the most fallen people. So then Lord said, so be it. So Aloysius said, I'm not yet done. So then he continued. So you should deliver the most fallen, and at the same time, those who think that they are proud, those who think that I know everything, I have so much pride, and like, I'm the best of all. Those who think like that with pride, so then you should not give the mercy to them. And then Lord said, so be it. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives mercy to only to those who consider themselves as very fallen state, and who are very humble at the same time. So Lord is always testing us in every situation of life, how much we are asking for the mercy of the Lord, how much we are actually looking for love of God, how much we are actually looking for Krishna Prem, which we every day recite. So, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us that. And if we beg for the mercy of Guru Parampara, and surely we will be able to get what which was not achieved for the entire previous yugas, what which was not achieved. Even the demigods are asking for the mercy of the Lord, and they are also praying, when will I be able to take birth in this in the association of devotees. So that way, when we focus to gain the mercy of the Lord, like it is said that just like a materialist is focused on getting the money, we should also be focused to attain the mercy of the Lord. So then actually you'll be able to perfect our life and we'll be able to please the devotees on us. So I thank all the devotees for their patience. I took the audacity to speak beyond my realization, but I would request if any comments or any feedback is there, please, or any questions also, please provide. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anugraha, for your wonderful session, wonderful class. So I had this question to always, wanted to ask this as far looking for someone to ask this question. That actually we see here when Kardamuni wanted to with children taking Devavati and going for a ride in Ariel mansion to different places. It's happening, and we at present find in Krishna consciousness that say the things that are mentioned that if one has to procreate, one has to chant 50 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra on the day, and be Krishna conscious, take permission from spiritual master, as it mentioned in seventh canto, which is proper way. And we find in the scriptures in the third canto telling ki that when Kardamuni did all these things. So where to draw the line, where to balance between these both?
Yeah.
Is the conflict,
So, I try to repeat what I heard from the lecture of from the lecture of Zaipur Maharaj. So Maharaj was telling, as I was focused also, that as I was also told in the lecture, that and see Kardamuni had the lifespan of demigods, and he for him it was a normal thing, and he also had the benediction that Lord Himself would come as his son. So that's why, in order to satisfy Dehuti also, so Dehuti also had this material desire of wanting children. So in order to satisfy Dehuti, and he had this mystic. It's not that he was enjoying. So otherwise, why would Siddhas would glorify them, and why would many devotees would glorify them? One, why this entire scene is in Bhagavatam. Actually, Kardama Muni, like just like we heard like few weeks back, how um, by one may be acting in some way, but he's not entangled. So he was like that. So although he's acting in a way that, like it is described, he enjoyed for many years, but his lifespan is lakhs of years, and years many like thousands of years is nothing, and compared to lakhs of years. So his enjoyment was a normal thing, and the purpose of our life is same as what Kardamuni had. The purpose is to please the Lord, and their sex life was pleasing to the Lord only because, like in the next chapters, it will come that what was the reason why he enjoyed. The only reason was to fulfill the order which Brahma had given. As such, he was not so much focused on enjoyment. He is focused on fulfilling the order of Brahma. And even in that too also, Brahma had said that you propagate the entire universe. I mean, so you populate the entire universe. But he took the path of renunciation. So if we look at what ultimately he did at the end, similarly what Dehuti ultimately she did, both are glorious in one sense. On the ultimate, if you see the bigger picture.
if they knew that Supreme Lord is going to come, through them, I mean, like how we have, presently the standard of chanting 50 rounds and all. So something like that would have been done than showing, this much amount of passionate way of enjoying to beget children.
Obviously, their lives, I mean, the entire situation is in different yuga itself. And what is restrained to us is different than what is prescribed to them. I mean, different than what was happening that time. So the situation was different. So that, as I said, like we may not be able to now. Let's say I have my family, I can enjoy for years and years together, and maybe after 60, I can now, just like Kazamuni enjoyed, I can also enjoy for like 60 years. Let's say after that, I come back. So that will never happen. That coming back will never happen because For Kardamoni, it was just like a one day, within a one day. But for us, 60 years means gone. Within 60 years only, we might die. Who knows? Sanathan, that question. Question
Yes,
or comment?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the nice, wonderful session. From the very first purport that you read, there are some mentions on demigods and northern side and eastern side and all that. What is the significance of knowing these things, Prabhu?
No, it's just I mean, what I know little, I repeat. So, so it is the universal management which is there set up by the Lord, and like they're Dikpalakas basically. They protect each direction of, and they are given insights just like we are given insights of you take this Kudlugate, you take this Balandur, you take this that area, you take Sarkar, like that. The right directions when they're given insights of all these directions, and they are supposed to make sure that all the services there, universal management services, are done. So that is the only understanding I have seen. Whether Vishnu can repeat, I mean, please answer if anything else.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hi, so request notice to please fill the feedback form, and also if any verbal comment is there, like anything which, as I said, um, as such, I'm not much qualified and I don't have any practice also to substantiate what I spoke. But please do give your feedback. And this feedback form I've shared in the WhatsApp group actually.
There's a question on the chat window.
Okay.
Brahma instructed Kumaras also to procreate, but they became bachelors, brahmachari. To tell them only took it seriously. How to understand that both at times are allowed and liberating transistors.
Yeah. So we always have this choice. So there is one order of, obviously, all the orders of the spiritual master has to be followed, but there is one choice. In case if we, in case if we don't want to take up to the married life, then we can remove this. I mean, surpass this order. And Brahma, like Kardamuni, as I said, he had this desire also within himself. In order to complete the perfection of complete renunciation of life, he had to experience this phase of Grihastha life, and it was just one very compact period in his life. So that is the understanding. And Kumaras, so they were renounced from their life itself from the very child. So they asked benediction, I never want to grow old, so that they will never be able to have this desire itself because of bodily. So they were from initially itself, they were like that. And everyone has a choice, but irrespective of which choice they choose, everyone can attain the same mercy of the Lord. So,
Leave computer.
1 minute. Huh.
Anybody has any suggestions, comments, feedback for dear Anugraha Achyuta Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam.
And
Actually, you started the class with a nice question, Prabhuji, actually. So, why everybody was glorifying Kardama Muni, and even though he is enjoying, you started with a nice question, and it created so much enthusiasm for listening to the class. And when Prabhuji will say the answer for this question like that, we were enthused and we were continuously following up. So, where Prabhuji, when he will tell the answer, and shortly we got the answer, Prabhuji. Actually, that was a nice point. One point I have observed, Prabhuji. Your presentation and timings is very good, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
anybody one? Sanatan Prabhu, you want to give on feedback, or you want to write and I read your feedback? Sanatan
No,
Prabhu.
no, that's fine, Prabhu. I've anyway written the feedback. So, like our Prabhuji said, the session was very nice. I felt that it was in the philosophical aspects were very nicely covered. He gave right examples. Achyuta Prabhu gave very nice examples. He tried to connect with different pastimes and stories as well. One feedback where I felt could have been better is, Prabhu, please don't take it wrong, but I feel that the tone was very monotonous, if I have to use that word. So it was going in the same pace throughout. So when there is a pastime or when there is something that needs to be emphasized, I felt that that was not called out, even though the points were very nicely mentioned. But there was no, I mean, it was just going at one pace. That could change a little. When we are giving it to a larger audience, people tend to switch off, and that's one feedback I thought I should just pass.
Thank you, Sanatan Tapu, for the honest feedback. We'll increase your presentation marks for helping Anugraha to improve his presentation. No, we require devotees to give honest feedback, because this is a evaluation so that he can give nice classes there. And if all feedback I give, it will not be good. Okay, Dinesh has some. Not every guy enthusiastic to give feedback. Yes, Dinesh.
So you are able to hear me?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. You are able to hear?
Yes, no, means he's also hearing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it was an amazing class by Anugraha Prabhu. He brought out so many nice realizations and the story of Ramanujacharya, how he related those points. So different stories that brought attention of all the devotees. One thing that I felt was, it appeared that Prabhu was little nervous.
Nervous.
He was, maybe because of, because many devotees were there, and last time also he told me that many seniors are there. I'm feeling little disturbed. So I felt like that.
It happens,
So no
Prabhuji.
need to
Even
get
when we
scared.
sit in that chair, Prabhuji, we also feel the same, Prabhuji. First time
Yeah,
when we'll
yeah.
give, Prabhuji, we'll be little bit nervous. Prabhuji, starting, I think he was little bit nervous in the starting, but after that he controlled it and then he continued gracefully, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
That happens to
But,
everybody, Prabhuji, I think. I think our
but
Vraj Krishna
for
Prabhu
me,
is also
but
there,
for
no?
me,
That also adds to it.
No, I'm sitting in front of Prabhu. So. Prabhu did not look even at once also towards me.
very
but
very
for me
difficult
it
Prabhu
was
in
like
front of the
amazing thing.
teacher giving class.
For me, it was like little surprising because I've seen Anugraha Prabhu when he came into Krishna consciousness initially, he would not even speak at all. But the way that he has come like a powerful preacher, amazing. I'm really, spellbound. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, I have some points to say. So actually, though tomorrow's ECT is shifting, I just put name of Vipin Prabhu and Anugraha Achyuta Prabhu, thinking that if I put their name there, no, they will say yes. Otherwise, other devotees, I may have to do a lot of bargain, Prabhuji, this problem, that problem. So I wanted to avoid all that. So that's why I put the name of Vipin Prabhu and Anugraha Achyuta. If I put their name, they won't do any this thing. Other devotees will give 3 to 5 excuses, and then it will be it will be done. So and purposefully change the strategy. Generally, we give a choice for devotees to choose the verse, but for them I said, okay, whatever temple Bhagavatam verse is going, do it. The purpose was that because generally we choose our verse is easy to speak, but when we take the verse of but what happens when you get temple Bhagavatam, you don't choose a verse, the verse comes to you. So we want to have a practice for devotees to take any verse, and this was the most difficult verse for a brahmachari to speak. In fact, I had chosen 40, 41, 42, but it was 39 the verses there. So that is a wonderful quality. Of course, other devotees also would have agreed for giving the class, but I just wanted to glorify Anugraha Achyuta that I gave them a chance and then they accepted. Yeah. And he spoke nicely and brought up the very nice theme of, mystic siddhis. It's not easy. So I felt, see, when we are giving a Bhagavatam presentation, we have to choose 2 or 3 themes. Otherwise, it's just a random class it becomes. As if some Krishna conscious statements are coming after some time. I mean, this I'm talking in general. So one theme presented very nicely of mystic yoga. we should not go for mystic cities, and presented many things there. But after, as the presentation went on, so sometimes the presenter went on, we should have good japa, sometimes humility, sometimes follow the order of the question answer. So then it was going different direction, and it is not at all related to the purport. There. So Bhagavatam class, it should have a relation to the purport and go to proper mission, proper mood, and what we can practically apply in our life. So this requires a little good preparation when you're doing there. So and we changed the verse for Achyut Prabhu, 2 days back only, 39, 42 to 39. So that also became, and he's a little busy also. But what I feel when devotees are giving, they need little more preparation. And when they need little more preparation, it should be thematic. Like 3 themes you take out from it. Like for example, the theme, one theme was Mystic Yoga was very good. That even Mystic Siddhis he had is nice. Then also something could be spoken about Varnashrama. Like this question came of Vijay Prabhu, which was a difficult question for Anugraha Achyuta to answer. Maybe Sanatan Dev would have answered this question more nicely there, but Anugraha Achyuta was difficult. See, you said that has to chant 50 rounds. Yes, you have to chant 50 rounds. So Kadamba did all the tapasya of chanting 50 rounds, right? There. Then after tapasya, then he took Devhuti. And Prabhupada gives a reason in another purport. If a man is not attracted to woman, a girl will be produced. And if a man is attracted to woman, then a son is produced. So Prabhupada gave an answer in the another purport of this. So something is spoken on the Varnashrama, which is a little difficult for a new devotee, for a person who is going to become a brahmachari. It is a little difficult to speak upon this topic, so I understand that the limitation of it. But see, two themes were there, like how, and he covered also, he cut the munis beyond the 3 modes. So, but the practical application for us, while bringing the practical application for us, it should be very sanket. Okay, what Prabhupada's mood is presented, but what is Prabhupada's mission, and how we can practically apply the Karda Muni's life there, like how Karda Muni was detached there, and he just accepted the certification this there for some part to get detached. So the purpose of life is renunciation, and then few examples of successful grastas, few examples how person can apply personally in the life. And then when you talk about conclusion, like 8:45 said, I'll conclude, but a conclusion went for another class. The conclusion means it should be just 3-4 minutes. Just 3-4 minutes, conclude 1, 2, 3, and 4 points there. And question answer Prabhu took very nicely. One questions, he tried his best. Like at his level, I would say he tried his best and answered the questions very nicely. And this question was there of Kardamuni and Devhuti. So Kardamuni and Devhuti, this last question came up that why Kardamuni married and Chaturkamala did not marry. So the reason is, the Vishnu Thakur writes, Kardamuni thought, I am not as exalted as Sanat Kumaras. So let me follow the order of Brahma. So he understood that, so Vishnu Thakur writes it, this answer there. So sometimes if you're referring section, we can also read Acharya's commentaries to get a more clarity for questions and answers. So everything is there in proper purpose, but it helps sometimes to understand the mode of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and try to be like, it's a 45-minute class including the question answers. So then try to be 40 minutes with the class with Jayarada Madhava, 8-5 minutes, and then 5-10 minutes keep for question answers, so that it finish by 8:55. If 8 o'clock you start, it's finished by 8:45 or 8:50. Like that. Then it's a better timing there. Because when you plan classes for a scheduled time and things, then it goes 9 o'clock. Otherwise it goes 9:30, 9:45. Audience are waiting for prasadam, especially after Bhagavatam class. Okay, which if we have something to say, some feedback.
When 4 verses are given, Proji, when 4 verses are given from Bhagavatam with translation purport, to cover up that itself will take 15-20 minutes in the 45 minutes, where Jayarada Madhava has to be sung and last 10 minutes question and answers has to be taken. So the content, like say 3 themes has to be presented at least. It needs 10 minutes to speak on one theme also. It doesn't fit in 45 minutes. And I'm asking how to
See, these 3-4 verses are very little purport. So if you see, it took only 10 minutes time. He came at 8:06 and 8:16 his classes started. So it took 10 minutes only. So why we gave 3-4 verses? Because hardly there was a purport. And the 39 I didn't give it. I planned 40 to 42. 40, 41 did not have purport. 42 had a purport there. But then 39 was changed. So then I said, okay, you cover all so that because you would have prepared there. And this 39 is a difficult verse for a brahmachari to speak also there. No, always you should have Jaya Radha Madhava as a standard, to start a class. 2 minutes Jaya Radha Madhava you should have. So generally you will get one verse only.
So we will, it is the same pattern will be continued, Prabhuji. We won't be able to choose the verse and then verse will come to us. I think it is better to follow the